All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I am running solo tonight. It goes that Spencer has a lot of like kind of main job kind of stuff to deal with. He has the apartment to work on and some things like that. And I did not want to see this project not get footage. So I think I might be doing this entire video A to Z just by myself, and hopefully it passes the test as far as video quality. He's able to upload this and have this be a video for you guys. So you'll notice right behind me right now, I have got a Chevy Malibu. This thing's like a maybe 2009 or 10. I actually can't remember the exact year, but I do know that it has a problem. Let me show you. All right, so this Malibu belongs to a friend of ours, and they had a little mishap. They were at the Aldi parking lot, as I understand, and somebody managed to kind of T-bone them a little bit. They've got it all kind of taped up, things like that, just to be able to get by. But the insurance company totaled it. They said the thing's totally done. And I kind of agree, probably. I mean, it might be able to be fixed, but the better solution for them, since the rest of the car had already been in pretty rough shape, and you'll see that here, like the it's got some rocker rust issues that have been repaired, and this car is otherwise just kind of, you know, seen the end of its useful life. The idea is that it has a perfectly good running powertrain in it. So it's got a good 2.4 liter 4-cylinder in there, good automatic transmission, and I happen to have a Malibu sitting around here that did not have either of those things. Well, maybe the transmission was all right, but definitely did not have a good engine. It was a broken timing chain situation, and I'll show it to you here. So I've already gotten ahead of myself a little bit here, but right here, this engine, this really entire cradle, I pulled out of this Malibu right here. This Malibu is an LTZ loaded up nicely with leather and all sorts of stuff. And I pulled the front clip off of it, dropped the bad powertrain out of it, and tonight the plan is to get the good powertrain out of the silver one and place it back up underneath the white one. And I'm gonna give these people, well, I mean, they're buying it from me, but I'm gonna give these people a working white LTZ Malibu with their original powertrain in it. So it took me 2 hours to get that one out there, all removed. So I'm hoping this one will be similar. I'm sure going back together is going to be harder, but I'm hoping that the other one took me 2 hours, this one takes me 2 hours, and then maybe going back together takes 3 or 4 hours, and I can be done with this project in 7 or 8 total hours. That's the dream. And I took apart the white one the other night by myself, and I have to say that one did not have a good shock for the hood. And it would kind of hold, but very unexpectedly, you'd be working and all of a sudden just get slammed in the head with a hood. So I'm kind of glad this one looks like it might be actually functional, and hopefully I don't get beat up like I did on the other one. That's the hope here. I will say there was one thing I learned whenever I was working on this the first time to take it apart on the white one, and that is that the front bumper cover kind of has to come off for the way I'm doing this. It's a little bit of a hassle to take off, but this one's already ruined, so I probably was going to have to pull it off at some point anyway. So I'll start with that. We'll get all the bolts and pop clips removed here. Another huge piece, I'll say, for taking this thing apart was just a lot of like plasticky junk that has to come off just to kind of get you down to your correct fasteners and things that are underneath all that sort of superficial stuff. But the inner fender was actually, I hate inner fenders, but it's got to be one of the worst inner fenders I've ever had. It is like 3 or 4 pieces. There's like an outside strip, an inside strip, an inner filler piece, one that goes underneath like the radiator support. It's crazy. It's one of the worst inner fender setups I've ever seen on any vehicle ever. GM also has that really tricky little hose clamp under here. All right, I think I got that one. Funny thing is, this engine was giving him a little bit of trouble. Maybe, I don't know, a little over a month ago or something. And it was either a bad injector or a bad injector wire harness. It was bringing up a fault code. It was like either a bad injector or a bad injector wire harness. It was bringing up a fault code. And I told him, hey, I got a parts Malibu sitting around that has a bad timing chain. I'm sure the injectors are still fine and all those things. We actually popped the injectors out of that parts engine that I just showed you. And we put it in this vehicle. Injectors and the harness, the whole setup. So now it's kind of coming full circle. We're going to put it all back together. So this car was actually a high mileage review. If you never got to see that one, if you look up the high mile reviews on the channel, you'll see this Malibu a while back. And I don't remember for sure if it was a buy, but I think it was. Just because they really are, like, I mean, they're so cheap now. Even if they're really not like the cream of the crop as far as like quality, they are, like, if it's not a buy on that video, you know, it potentially maybe should be. Not based on overall quality, but based on just attainability. Like, they're, you know, you can get them for a few $1,000 and they run pretty decent. The 2.4 was the more problematic engine. It was the one that people didn't like quite as much. But even they are good enough to get you by. Oh, man. Well, I don't feel like totally defeated, but it is late at night and I am getting tired. But the other part of me wants to just kind of see this thing through. So, you know, this is like that confession booth time, you know, kind of like in the office or whatever, you know, where I'm like, all right, guys, today was a hard day. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm doing it yet, but I would like to block up this engine in some way. I'm thinking actually maybe something I can just wedge or shove underneath there, just flat. I don't know if you can see that there. I'll bring you up a little bit just to, like, I'm thinking something in this gap that when I release the motor mount that would actually keep it from just dropping. A little slippery there, but yeah, something like that. Okay, I think that's gonna help me a lot. There we go, I got a hold. And really the only other thing you have to do, I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes after this project's done in the front. I left the whole brake assembly assembled in the other car except for the front brakes. And I only disconnected them right here just so the strut could come down as one whole unit. In hindsight, I probably, no, I don't know. I think the rotors and calipers and pads on this one are better. So I think I wanted to switch these over anyway, and I would have had to bleed them anyway. So I don't know if I'm regretting that too much. And then wheel speed sensor, just gonna pop that off and leave that with the vehicle. One thing you're not gonna be able to really see, but I did do last time, is just made sure the intermediate shaft was actually like coming loose. I didn't want to find out after I was halfway down that it was all bound up on something. So I'm gonna just pound on that a few times. Take it the whole way just in case. All right, I don't think there's anything else that has to be taken apart down here. I think it's all up top now. All I gotta do is get this cradle centered up on some jack stands. Worked by Canon PB Blaster. I'm calling this intermission, and I'm gonna call this a night. Start fresh in the morning, use the forklift. I'll take the cradle out, and yeah, we'll be good to go. Put the new car in, and we should be good to start going back together. My little stool that I was sitting on kept rolling over rocks, and it was like impossible to roll around. So to start this project off again, to put it back together, I want all the little rocks and dirt off the ground, or at least most of them, so I can actually roll around and not have my stool almost fall over. So just two things I had to deal with here before putting this back together. One is I have a broken bolt or stud on this exhaust here, so I need to hit that out and get rid of it. And then number two is my one heater hose I need to get off of this car and switch it to the other car. But beyond that, I think this is pretty much lined up, ready to start to go back together. Now I gotta lower enough to get in the garage. Let's see if I can do it. Okay. Got to hook up the AC lines back here. That's probably the hardest thing to get to right now, so I think I'm going to try to do it. And then, not sure what I'm doing next. I have to remember when I go to restart this car that I think it might be in reverse or something like that as far as the actual place where the linkage is. It's not centered down where I would expect it, so. Let's see if I can get that to push on. There it goes. All right. So shift linkage is in place. Try this transmission mount, see if I can get it. This is where I keep confusing myself. I'm like, I need to make sure that I put the original computer from this white car in this one and not the one that I took out last night. And I also am going to just change this stupid gas shock because I am tired of being afraid of it. Certainly not part of my original plan, but the headlights looked kind of rough, and when I was taking this apart, one of the brackets broke, and it just so happened that I have a set of new Malibu headlights here, so I thought, what the heck, I'll switch them out, make them nice for the gentleman we're fixing this for, and it'll just look a little bit nicer. I did run the propane out on the forklift, so it is literally dead in the water until I can figure out a way to go refill the propane tank, which there is one place open today. I might be able to go there, but it seems like every time I go there, they don't know how to do it, or the guy that does that isn't there that day or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. And the moment of truth, let's see if she starts. Might prime the old fuel pump once or twice just to get some pressure up. Okay. It's a good sign.
All right, guys, this is Spencer now because Lance forgot to plug his microphone in. He got the car outside, he actually washed it, took nice good care of it, and then took it on a pretty good little test drive and realized that the computer was having an issue syncing up for the transmission. So he ended up having to do a relearn on it. You can see this car has like the paddle shifters on it and stuff, and the original car did not have that. So there's some issues with that, I think. I don't know all the details, but he had some issues with that, and it did take a fair amount of time to get that sorted out. But it was sorted out. Went on a good long test drive. Everything worked perfect on the car, and pretty much a good to go car now for these folks.
So here it is.
Got that thing done yet?
Hey, look who decided to show up once all the work was done.
I know. I heard it was done, and I was like, I'm coming over.
Busy day?
Very.
Okay.
Very. Oh, hold on. They can't hear me.
You know
Let me. What's up? All right, hey guys. I took the day off. I went to an amusement park by myself.
You did not.
No, I worked all day long.
Let me tell you something. I understand why you wear sunglasses. The camera is right here.
Yeah. Why you got your head so far back? You just stand. You just stand. You're back here. You're like. Yeah, you're doing that. You're doing that. You'll learn.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm having trouble looking at this. I want to look at my own face, but when you do, the eyes aren't looking at the camera. It's tough. Okay. But
nice.
Dude, it looks nice. It's.
I've never even opened the door.
Dude,
of this car.
It's actually
sitting at the top of the room.
Fire it up for the people.
Did they hear it yet?
Yeah, I did an engine start. Just to summarize. I took it on a test drive.
The seat is a little.
The foam's worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to summarize, I took it on a test drive, and on the test drive, the transmission would not shift right. And it's because I switched the entire drive line from a different transmission. Like it had the same engine, but when I used the engine and transmission control module, which is all one unit, it did not have like the shift points or the things it needed for this particular setup. So I had to put a whole new ECU from the other vehicle in this, and then I had to do a 30-minute GM relearn where you have to turn the key on for 10 minutes and turn it off for 10 minutes and turn it on, vice versa, or not vice versa, but again and again. And after 30 minutes, the key was programmed, and it came up and fired up, and it brought up a check engine light because it thought it was a brand new engine. So it needed a crank position relearn. So I did that, and now all check engine lights are gone, I think, right?
Yeah. No,
okay. And it runs quiet.
It went right into gear, all that stuff.
Took it on a test drive. It shifted good. It's right now.
That's
so.
Fair. Is this a quick flip?
I don't know what this is. I
think it actually, by definition of.
I can tell you, I didn't.
One day.
It is one day. I mean, sort of. It was like 2 hours and 2 hours, and then
8 hours total.
5 hours today or something. 9 probably. 9, 10.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
By yourself.
Not bad by
No,
myself.
I didn't help at all.
Yeah.
Which
All right.
feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good not to help, I'll tell
Yeah.
you.
Well, write your thoughts in the comments, and please like and subscribe and all the other things you're supposed to say at the end.
I
So
don't know that I say. I might say thanks for watching.
yeah, thanks for watching.
Because I'm a gentleman.
Yeah. Well, and a scholar.